agenda. Lieutenant Commander Clifton Graham presenting an Interagency Coordinating Committee on Oil Pollution and Research, ICARP, their research and technology plan overview and updates on priorities for the next 2 to 6 years. Lieutenant Commander Graham serves as the program manager at the U.S. Coast Guard Headquarters, Office of Marine Environmental Response Policy, MER. In his role as acting executive director of Interagency Coordinating of ICOPR, he coordinates the research and development program for Coast Guard MER, provides support to interagency programs, and advises on MER policy. His personal awards include the Coast Guard Commendation Medal, the Coast Guard Achievement Medal, and the Air Force Achievement Medal. Please welcome Lieutenant Commander Graham, and we're glad you're with us. Take it away.
Great, thank you, Greg. Can you hear me okay and see my screen?
Yes, sir. Everything good.
All right, perfect. Yeah, thanks for the introduction and thanks for having me today. This is also my first presentation at this workshop. So my name is Lieutenant Commander Cliff Graham. I'm located at Coast Guard Headquarters, and I'm currently the acting executive director for ICOPR, which is the Interagency Coordinating Committee on Oil Pollution Research. I've been in the Coast Guard for about 13 years and almost at headquarters for about a year now. So for those of you not familiar with ICOPR, first I'll take a few minutes to walk you through a brief background on ICOPR, its purpose, current activities and structure, and how it transitions to R&D, with talking about how the R&T plan is developed and some future standing research areas. So first off, ICOPR, which was required by the Oil Pollution Act of 1990 due to the challenges posed by the response to the Exxon Valdez spill in 1989, revealed the need for federal agencies to better coordinate their research. Efforts to coordinate the research resulted in the Title VII of Open 90 and the first requirement for a comprehensive and coordinated research and technology plan. So Open 90 established ICOPR pretty much to coordinate a comprehensive program for oil pollution research, technology development, and demonstration among the federal agencies in cooperation and coordination with industry, universities, research institutions, state governments, and other nations as appropriate, and also required the development of the R&T plan. So ICOPR is comprised of 15 federal independent agencies, departments, and department components, where they're required to have at least one representative from each of the 15 agencies. The U.S. Coast Guard chairs ICOPR, and up until recently, NOAA, BSE, and EPA rotated as the vice chair every 2 years. However, some of you may be aware, but due to Title VII of Coast Guard Authorization Act, now is requiring NOAA to be the permanent vice chair. And they plan to now, the research and development plan, to be updated every 10 years. However, I'll get into this a little later. We're probably going to maintain a 6-year cycle, but some of this is still to be determined. Federal agencies of the Interagency Committee conduct, fund, or oversee a large number of research projects related to the prevention of, preparedness, and response to oil spills. So some of the purposes of the committee and plan are one, to define common research themes related to oil pollution research, identify on a regular basis the knowledge gaps associated with common research themes, and recommend what gaps should be considered as high research priorities within them, to act as an umbrella or a connecting document with other strategic federal research plans, or that also address research support for oil pollution topics, and document the interagency research coordination process, as well as the feedback to processes developed by federal research management and regulatory agencies, and promote research information transfer between the government, the public, and other stakeholders, and finally, to encourage and track efforts to implement improvements in technological change. So basically, ICOPR is charged with 2 general responsibilities. One, to prepare a comprehensive, coordinated federal oil pollution research and development plan, which I'll touch on more in the next slide. And 2, to promote cooperation with industry, universities, research institutions, state governments, and other nations, as I mentioned, through information sharing, coordinated planning, and joint funding of projects. The ICOPR charter was set up so that interagencies could hold quarterly meetings where they collaborate on current and proposed research and updates to the existing projects they're working on. These projects are often collaborative between agencies. They take advantage and share training and testing at facilities such as OMSET, which was previously discussed, and the CREL facility up in New Hampshire. ICOPR will often contribute to various conferences, invite industry partners, academia, and grant-based programs to speak to the interagency throughout the year. So if anyone in the audience has a project that they would like to share with the interagency, ICOPR would be the appropriate venue to do this. And then you can reach out to my contact information on the last slide. Lastly, ICOPR reports on its activities to Congress every 2 years to give the latest updates on projects being developed. The last report was 2019, and another report will be generated this year in 2021. So to explain a little bit of the Oil Pollution Research and Technology Plan and its structure, the current 2015 version of the OPRTP is the first in a series of revisions covering 6-year planning cycles and presents ICOPR's coordinated research and technology for the fiscal years 2015 through 2021. This planning process capitalizes on the unique roles and responsibilities of member agencies to address oil pollution research and development needs and maintain awareness of research needs. So the plan, while directed towards federal agencies, also provides guidance for non-federal research entities. Research addressing the priority areas does occur outside federal government agencies. And to further describe the evolution of the plan more in a historical context, originally developed in 1992, where it was reviewed by the National Academy of Sciences Marine Board. The second update was made in 1997, and then finally a new baseline plan was established in 2015, and that's when the 6-year cycle was implemented. So more to the structure of what you're looking at here, the diamond, and how the standing research areas are all tied together. The current structure of the plan establishes a research framework grouped into 4 broad classes. That's in the diamond here you're looking at. Prevention, preparedness, response, and injury assessment and restoration. It further classifies and prioritizes research within the classes into 25 standing research areas, representing the most common research themes encountered for oil spills. Research priorities were established for each standing research area for a total of 570 research needs in the 2015 plan. So the plan is further broken down when you actually have a hard copy of it into 2 parts. Part 1 is oil pollution research, where it discusses needs for research, federal oil pollution research programs, non-federal oil pollution research programs, categorization framework, and knowledge transfer. And part 2 establishes research priorities and how the prioritization process takes place, noteworthy incidents that took place, state of knowledge of today or when the plan was written, and research and technology priorities. So to look at each class, and then you can see in black here in bold, the 25 SRAs, standing research areas, for the 2015 plan. So we're currently redoing the 2021 to 2027 plan that's being led by Dr. Nancy Kinner's team with the University of New Hampshire's Coastal Response and Research Center. The plan is so it's being updated to the 6-year cycle, and you can see in red here that these new SRAs are being added under the prevention class. You'll see the geohazards, subsea systems, automation, reliability are being worked on, and under preparedness, renewable energy systems as an SRA is being looked at. So just so I'm clear, these are not, since the plan is still being generated and won't be completed until the end of the year, this isn't quite official. I'm just kind of giving you a glimpse into the standing research areas that are being discussed and looked at by the steering committee of ICOPR that's putting the R&T plan together. So to kind of further break it down and give you a closer look on how these are tied together, you see the classes on the left, prevention and response, the SRAs, geohazards, pipeline systems, and chemical and physical modeling behavior in this category. And then it further gets broken down into sub-SRAs. So the red highlighted topics are our new SRAs and sub-SRAs that we're looking at. And since the creation of this slide, we've also added 2 others. So here we have geohazards as the new SRA, and then the sub SRAs. We have siting decisions, threat damage prevention, leak detection, anomaly detection characterization, and sinking oil and MOSFAs. And additionally, under the prevention class, we have med-ocean effects and surface system and umbilicals also being considered for the new 2021 plan. So the way the process for ICOPR works is once the plan is created, the interagency and partners get together to develop the projects based on what was assessed in the plan, and then they take those standing research areas and they work them into their research and development programs. For the purpose of time, I'll just kind of highlight the Coast Guard R&D efforts and how we're kind of identifying the standing research areas and bringing it over to the Coast Guard side of the house. I know Mr. Balsley may have covered this earlier today, but I'll just kind of glean over them in case you missed that presentation. So current projects being conducted by Coast Guard Research and Development Center are advancing underwater automation systems and aerial vehicles, capabilities to characterize water column and surface oil and ice environments, in situ burn research, nearshore and inland evaluation of the estimated recovery system potential calculator, and the behavior of diluted bitumen in fresh water. And then to the left, you'll see the recently completed projects by Coast Guard RDC. And these all can be found at the Defense Technical Information Center's website if we want to kind of pull these up and look at them in more detail. And I'm happy to answer any questions regarding these at the conclusion of the brief. Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Arctic Domain Awareness Center, who is supporting the Coast Guard through DHS's S&T Center of Expertise. Excuse me. So they have 6 projects underway. Next year will be the last year for these projects. So these projects are development of the long-range AUV, very similar to, and it is a collaborative effort with our Coast Guard RDC project for mapping under ice oil spills, environmental hazards. Arctic oil spill modeling for improved response to Arctic, maritime systems. I've lost view of my slides here. So excuse me for a second. Maritime spills. Mitigating the damage to Arctic copepods from surface oil spills when to apply dispersants. Photo-enhanced toxicity of dispersed and burned crude oil to Arctic mussels, and marine-induced polarization for detecting and mapping of oil and Arctic ice. So that concludes my ICOPR brief for today. I am happy to discuss and answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. Excellent work on being represented there. Appreciate that and all that you guys do every year. Are there questions for Lieutenant Commander Graham?
Not currently at this time.
All right. Well, with that then, thank you, Lieutenant Commander. Appreciate your participation today. Thanks.
Great. Thank you very much.